Hello, I'm Kathleen Hall, and this is The Way I See It.
I'm Ken Pierre. This is The Way I See It.
So today we are going to talk about the thing nobody wants to talk about, that it's almost April 15th.
The F word.
And it's tax day. So we're going to just throw a few things about lower your financial stress. Because it's a day of reckoning, whether you just met with your accountant or you met with them months ago or all kinds of that stuff. It's a time to look at yourself and what you're saving, you're not saving, credit card debt, and everything else. So there's a whole lot of financial stress going around. And all of us, of course, if you've lived as long as I have, and you don't say you've been through it many times, not one time, especially 2008. We all know the losses of that, and especially with an exclamation point, including my husband and myself. It's a humbling thing, but financial stress, you don't want to talk about it because there's so much shame that's associated, like I'm a loser, I'm not as smart as somebody else, I didn't plan as well, what's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. And don't you think that part of the hardest thing in our country is being honest about it, and that makes it even worse?
Yes, I feel like everyone likes to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah. So that's particularly hard because, I mean, if you don't have what everyone else has, then they're going to kind of shame you in a way. So if you don't have a plan to exit, then you're just going to be drowning or running the Queen's race, where you're just staying in one place and not moving.
But don't you think, like we talked before, that when you keep in a financial stress situation, it's like running, and you have to run faster and faster, and if you slow down,
it's catching you. It's like the boogeyman.
Yeah, it catches up with you. One thing is to know stress symptoms, too, for your own physical and mental health. If you get stomach problems, headaches, can't sleep at night, emotional problems may snap off your partner's head when you get short with your kids. At work, your coworkers are saying, what's going on with you? You go, nothing. And relational stress problems like withdrawing, becoming isolated, on the weekends going out and doing your own stuff in the yard so that nobody talks to you. So know what the stress symptoms are. I think that's really important. But there's also some wonderful tips. Number one is, I would say, be honest. Whatever you do, be honest with yourself first. My husband and I just got back again from vacation, and one of the things we talked about was we got to get a new budget. We've been putting it off. It's now April. We've been putting it off for a while.
But I like the communication.
Yeah, and it was painful because, again, we just go out to eat and put our stuff in Ziploc bags, keep every receipt, but there's no planning in it, and it's gotten absolutely ridiculous. So we had to be honest about how loose and free we've been running with it when you don't have it, and pretending it's going to keep showing up. And next is be honest with it. If any of us have credit card debt or banks, you wouldn't believe how they'll work with you. They have special departments. Yeah, communication. And talk to them. Don't think they're not there to help you. They are. It's really important. Another thing that I learned when on the plane coming back, and also when we got back, were apps and websites that had great budget facilities, great Excel sheets for yourself for the most mundane, simple plans. You don't have to be an accountant. And so I found some great apps that keep track of your expenses while you're spending it, so you're not shocked at the end of the week. Because I'll go to the grocery store lots of times. I don't know about you, like run at night or in the morning, and you forget how many times you've charged and gone to the grocery store. My dry cleaning bill. So this is really a wake-up call for me, and I've only been doing it for 4 or 5 days now, and it's also interesting that it gives you a little nudge before you even start spending, once you start keeping a budget. So it's pretty cool. So don't forget the apps and the computer stuff. And next, there's budget and debt counseling. So if you're really in debt and got some challenges, you can go online. There's all kinds of companies. Check them out. The other thing is, if you don't have the resources to even pay somebody to do that, most churches now have debt counseling, and community centers. All community centers offer it now free, because they know that once people get in the debt spiral, it can literally ruin your family relationships and ruin everything else. And the other thing is, as we all know, you've been in a family, I've been in a family. When my parents were in pinches, they were ashamed too, and they never told us kids.
No, they hold
it back, but we knew something was wrong. And even if we knew it was money, I think them not talking about it didn't give us the opportunity to have any input. Like, maybe I can get a paper route, or I can babysit.
You're too young, and I feel like as parents, they don't want to put that stress on the kid.
Right. So that's why I think it's really important to have family meetings, talk about it. And the other thing is, and create a family budget, have each person have fun. Make it a game, like a football game. Call it Team Hall, Team Pierre, whatever it is. And maybe make it like a football game, whatever sport you guys like, soccer. And if you choose football, it's 4 quarters. You win some, you lose some, you throw bad passes, you make great decisions and make a touchdown. So as you're playing with what works and doesn't work for you, yourself, your own budget, and your families, don't you think to make it more playful? Because if your mom or my parents would have said, hey, let's have all of you in here and, have a family meeting and stuff. It was the secrets. It was the secrets. We have a saying, secrets kill and the truth heals.
Definitely. Just like speed kills
Yeah.
in sports. Like having that communication and also having the knowledge. I feel like many people don't look for that knowledge.
Right.
And knowledge is the power that you need to, be able to progress.
Right, and the other thing is again, if you're going to make it fun, then afterwards have popcorn, brownies, go out and get an ice cream. I really mean it. Make it so that what we do is we got to raise our kids and our families to not think finances are bad or money or fear it. It's energy. It's power. The more that you can manage and do it, the less stress you have, the healthier you are, but also the more you can give back to the world.
I agree.
So what a great thing. I wish my parents had taught me that when I was young, because it's been one of the most damaging things in my life. As hard as we've worked and done, my husband and I've always been somewhat afraid of money because my mother was always afraid we'd go in the poorhouse. And so, I always had this fear of it chasing me and was going to get me no matter how much money I made or what happened. It was eventually going to get me. And remember the buddy system. It's very important to trust friends, trust family members, coworkers, people that you trust with the honesty.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing, they're a resource. A lot of people, when I was honest about what happened at our farm or what happened in the 2008 thing, it was amazing the resources that they gave me, the compassion, and they told me stories about their own life, losses in their own life and gains, and it took so much pressure out of the shame and the isolation.
Because everybody's going through the same thing. They just make it...
Or at different times in your life.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't 2008, which everybody went through. Don't you think? I mean, different stages, ages.
I agree.
And it's part of our spiritual and emotional and physical growth to go through these things.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think if we didn't have to look at money, lots of us wouldn't have to stop.
True.
And take that look in the mirror.
Man, that's a profound statement.
Yeah, take that harsh look. Because we just keep putting out a fishing line. It's like a fish getting it and running off with it. That if we didn't have to be stopped
reel back in.
by the credit cards due, then Tess is very interested because she wants me. Tess is jumping up on him because she wants her cat food continued at any continuous time. So anyway, any closing things on?
I just feel like education, communication,
Yes.
like all of these are important tools to live a financially successful and free life. Like it's a lot less stress. There's tons of anxiety that's built up when it comes to money when it's getting tight. So just being able to talk about it will definitely help your mental health.
And our 3-legged cat
Hey, Toast.
loves, because the whole time we were in Hawaii, they developed a close relationship
Yeah.
because that was her source
Of food.
clothing, shelter, tactile touch.
All right.
So,
Bully.
so off to April the 15th. Here we go.
All right, guys. My name is Ken Pierre. If you guys have any feedback, let us know on social media, Mindful Living Network. This is the way I see it. And I hope you guys have a good night.
And I'm Kathleen Hall. This is the way I say it. Have a great week.
She's a bully. You see her? Bully. Good night.